I'm Jen Mizak from Brandwish Solutions. Today we're going to cover personal LinkedIn profiles and LinkedIn company pages. We'll go over a lot of information, but it will help you get the most out of your LinkedIn profile. Now, many people don't like writing about themselves or filling out yet one more social media profile. The thing is, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to get it to work for you requires both. There's no magic setting you can choose. There's no app you can download to do it. It might feel like a root canal, but you've got to do it. A tip for you would be to treat yourself like you're a client. It's easier to do if you view yourself from a bit of a distance. But why do you care? Well, if your profile isn't optimized, you're missing the boat. By not doing this, you're losing visibility for yourself or for your brand. What could happen? Well, your credibility could be damaged. You could miss out on that dream job you're shooting for, or most likely you'll be ignored in the LinkedIn search engine. Now remember, LinkedIn profiles do show up in Google searches. Now let's face it, your goal, whether it's personal or professional, is knowing those key decision makers and having them know who you are and what you or your company has to offer them. You need to show up in the search results. LinkedIn will rank someone with an optimized profile ahead of yours. They will show up and you won't. So what is LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is the 13th most visited site in the world. It's where business execs come together to do more business. So who's using LinkedIn? Well, 45% of all LinkedIn members are key decision makers in their companies. Compare that to Facebook and Twitter, where the range is anywhere from 25 to 29%. LinkedIn is what gets you past the gatekeepers and directly to the decision makers. You have business owners, entrepreneurs, industry professionals, and execs from every single Fortune 500 company. LinkedIn members are engaged, and when people are engaged, business gets done. An optimized profile means that you can use LinkedIn to drive traffic to your website or your blog, improve visibility, network with decision makers, show people who you are. You get to put a face on your name or your company. It shows people you're active and that you're in business. It's a way to demonstrate that you're the right fit for someone's business needs. To optimize your personal profile, you need to fill out your profile 100%, make sure that you use keywords, expand your network, participate in groups. This is a great way to be able to connect with like-minded people. And you need to give and ask for recommendations. This is not just an online resume. So let's get started. Your profile is a marketing tool. It's there to make people want to engage with you. So let's walk through how to optimize it. First, your name. Just use your name here. There's no need to put all of those letters, degrees, and certifications that you've earned here unless it's critical to your audience. There's a spot later on for education and certifications. You don't want to intimidate people with your education. Now your photo's next. Don't be shy. If your profile has a photo, it's actually 7 times more likely to be viewed, so it's really important that you have one. General guidelines for your photo would be a close-up of a headshot. You need to be front and center. It's a small space, so make sure that people can actually see your face. Make sure that you look approachable. When you're selecting your photo, ask yourself a few questions. Do I look trustworthy? Do I look nice? Do I look like someone I'd want to do business with? Your best bet is really to invest in a professional headshot wearing professional clothes. Now, the contact information used to be visible on LinkedIn, and it's now something users need to click through to see. And this is the spot where you need to include everything. You need to include your website, your email address, your phone number, your Twitter account, your blog. You need to have at least 3 ways for people to contact you or connect with you. And when you're entering the information, choose custom text so that you can label your links instead of letting LinkedIn just assign the generic company blog and website icons. Now, the headline is one of the most important sections in your LinkedIn profile. It's your branding. It's your value proposition. And many times people will only ever see your name and headline. This is a spot where you need to start incorporating keywords, those skills or expertise that you want to be known for. You're going to want to use those keywords not only in your headline, but also in your summary and in your job description. The reason why these keywords are important is that they give LinkedIn more opportunities to find you and rank you. When you're thinking about keywords for yourself, think about the words a client or an employer would use to search for someone with your skill set. These are not the keywords that you'd use in a general Google search. These are shorter and they're more focused. So spend some time and work on your headline. You can use skills keywords or you can craft sentences using those keywords. For example, I help people do X or solve problem X with Y, or I help businesses improve visibility with social media and targeted marketing. Be sure to use simple, clear-cut language. Keep it short, keep it sweet, because you're not writing a novel here. Now, the activity section is the area that shows up between the contact info and the background summary section. The activity section is something over which you have no control. LinkedIn chooses what's posted here, and that's what people will see whether you want them to or not. So it's becoming more and more common for people to deactivate that section. The background summary is the second most important spot in your profile. You get 2,000 characters, which is about 300 to 400 words, give or take. This is where you tell people why they should engage or do business with you. Use your keywords and key phrases here. Talk about your accomplishments and experience. Tell the story of who you are as a professional. Also in your background section, add video, PowerPoint presentations, and documents that show your expertise or convey your capabilities to people. There's also a specialties section here, so try to add those key phrases and skill sets that your customers are looking for in here as well. LinkedIn is not supposed to be an online resume, so whatever you do, don't put a job objective in your summary section. The same thing goes for the experience sections. You're allowed about 2,000 characters again, so use them to talk about what you're responsible for and any great results that you achieved or how you helped your customers achieve great things. Make sure that you keep these sections updated as you move forward with your accomplishments. And be sure to use those keywords wherever they make sense, especially in your position titles where you can. Now, I have to say that I'm not convinced of the importance of the endorsement section. They don't seem to impact search results, and it's just so easy for users to click on the endorse button without really thinking through whether somebody's good at what they're endorsing them for. Let's take, for instance, a fictional example. Say this was Dan Smith's profile. Now, does Dan Smith really know about email marketing? Did the person endorsing him actually use him for email marketing? Do they know whether Dan Smith's good? Or did someone just feel that they wanted to support their friend Dan? The key takeaway, don't ask your network for endorsements. Ask them for recommendations instead. Which brings us to recommendations. According to LinkedIn, receiving 3 recommendations completes that portion of your profile. But really, you should shoot for at least 8. The wider the range or source of recommendations, the better. Customers, partners, managers, former colleagues, all of the people who know you and your work. Let's go back to Dan Smith for a second. If you were searching LinkedIn for a service provider, what would you give more weight to? Would you find someone who took the time to write a thoughtful recommendation more important, or a list of people who simply clicked a button to endorse that person? LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to add other sections to enrich your profile. These are not required in order to have a 100% complete profile, though. But adding sections is a great way to give potential connections an idea of what you have in common. Now, these categories include certifications, and if that's important to your industry or type of position, add them here. Courses you've taken, honors and awards you've received, languages you speak, organizations you belong to, volunteer groups, patents you've been involved with, publications, like for instance, if you write a blog, if you have a white paper or a book, make sure you share it here to demonstrate your expertise, and make sure that you link to it as well. Projects, and projects are a great way to show people what you've done or what you're currently involved in. So if you have a major project that you're involved in, either showcase it here or add a link to it. Now, expanding your network is critical. LinkedIn doesn't just look at your keywords when ranking you in search results. They also look at the size of your network. What LinkedIn likes to do is return search results to people that include some sort of connection to them. For an example, a second or a third level connection, not necessarily just the first level. Now, to build your network, invite past employers, your bosses, your managers, your colleagues, extended family and friends, but those who do use social media responsibly, please. Invite other people that you know. Every connection expands your network. In LinkedIn groups, build connections with others who have similar qualifications or professions. And there is a limit to the number of invites that you have, so be careful how you use them. Now, a word about invitations. Don't just use the "I'd like to add you to my professional network" default message that LinkedIn has in there. Make sure you customize it, personalize it. Tell them how you found them. Did you meet them somewhere? Let them know if you've seen them speak or if you read something of theirs. Tell them why you want to connect with them. If you'd like to talk to them about something, be specific and be concise. And don't assume that they're going to respond through LinkedIn. Provide your phone number and email as well. You might want to consider drafting a couple of different types of customized invites and then save them. You can swap out the specifics later, but the process for you in inviting people to connect will be much simpler. Now, business doesn't just come to you. You have to get out there. You have to be visible. Participating in LinkedIn groups is one of the most effective things that you can do, after getting your profile up to snuff, of course. Now, as you join conversations, LinkedIn will begin to see your profile as a leader and that it's worthwhile for them to rank you higher for your keywords. A note for you on participating in groups: only a personal account can post in a LinkedIn group conversation. A company page can't post in groups. So you need to designate someone as the voice for your company. Make sure that your company has a good social media policy in place first. Also, don't spam in groups. Don't just provide information about your business there. You need to be giving people valuable, helpful information, and you need to join in the discussion. Ask questions. Talk to people. So how do you find the right groups for you? Well, what you need to do is you need to look for groups that your clients are hanging out and participating in. They'll be in professional groups, they'll be in industry groups, and trade organization groups. You can see what groups your customers belong to down at the bottom of their profiles. Before joining a group, make sure that you're a good fit for that group. Check out the demographics. There's a graphic about halfway down on the right-hand column, and that will help you determine two things. Are these the people that you want to be in front of? Make sure it's the right audience. And does the group have regular activity? It's no use posting in there if nobody's listening. A word on conference groups. Sometimes they only get active once a year around the time of the conference, so just be aware of that. Now, there's a lot of things to do to optimize a personal profile, so you might as well make it fun. If it's too much to do in a single sitting, make sure that you record your baseline data. When you click on the Who's Viewed Your Profile tab over on the right-hand side of your profile page, make sure that you capture the number of times someone has viewed your profile, the number of times you've shown up in search results in the last day, week, or whatever other period that LinkedIn's got plugged in there. Then, as you begin to make changes to your profile and get engaged, you can monitor the shifts in these two numbers, and you'll see them rise. Other things to do: if people do endorse you, make sure you thank them. If they view your profile, send them a message and introduce yourself. If you see a piece of content that you know your audience would find interesting, share it and comment on it. Keep your status updates active, but use what you're involved with, what you're working on, where you might be volunteering, a result that you achieved, something that you've written, not just what you had for lunch. Be sure to follow companies, your former employers, your customers, or even companies you might want to work for in the future. Now, there's no need to spend more than 10 to 15 minutes a day on this. Now, remember I said you should break up the optimizing process? It's a great way to test and change things to measure and improve your results. This is one customer we took from 9 profile views per week to over 50 in an 8-week period. And his appearances in search went from 19 to 55 per week. This was entirely due to profile optimization and beginning to participate in groups. Understand that you're not going to experience sustained results. They're going to tend to ebb and flow depending on what you're doing, how active you are, and what others in the LinkedIn community are searching for. Optimizing your company page. The LinkedIn company page actually functions like a mini site or a microsite. One thing you need to do is link your LinkedIn company page to your corporate website. And you can incorporate a LinkedIn share button on your website and your blog because you want to drive traffic in both directions. Personal profiles and corporate pages complement each other and work with each other in a couple of ways. An employee who's been designated as your brand voice will use their personal profile to post information in groups on behalf of the company. This drives traffic from the group discussion area to either the LinkedIn company page, the company's website, their blog, or another chosen channel. Some of the company page stats are directly related to your employees. And when employees link their profiles to your business by indicating that your company is their employer, your company logo will actually show up on their profiles, and in their business-related activity is going to show up in the company activity stream. Optimizing company pages is just as important as optimizing a personal profile for many of the same reasons. It's about visibility. Every time an employee lists your company as an employer, your logo shows up in their profile. Anyone following your company will also have that noted in their profiles as well. Traffic. Company pages drive traffic to your blog, your website, and other channels that you're using to market yourself. Engagement. Company pages engage potential customers to generate leads, which is what we all want. They'll also show up in search results. It's not just personal LinkedIn profiles that show up in the Google search results. The company page will as well. Now, 2 sections make up the company homepage. The About section. Make sure that you fill this section out completely. Remember to use those keywords and craft the information so that it speaks to your target audience. A special note about the banner image here. This is important since it and the logo are the only company branding elements on this page. So make sure that your banner and your cover images reflect any current campaigns that you have going on. Show how vibrant your business activities are. You could mention the number of countries that you operate in or the number of projects that your company is involved with. Updates is the other section on the company homepage, and you want to post updates regularly. The best time to post is usually in the morning. Be sure that your company updates are interesting to your audience. Include links Tell viewers what you'd like them to do. Click to keep reading, buy now, that kind of thing. Put a call to action in there. Encourage your employees to share and like the company updates also. This is also going to expand your company's visibility and their reach. Another note on company updates. On average, companies that post 20 times a month will reach 60% of their followers with one or more of their updates. And you can also use a social media tool such as Hootsuite to pre-schedule those updates. So if you have any workflow issues, that might help you with them. Company pages also have administrators. So whoever sets up the account can designate other admins, up to, I think, 50. One problem that we've run into with larger companies that you should be aware of is that employees have come and gone but have never been removed from their LinkedIn company admin space. So the 50 slots are all taken up by people who have nothing to do with LinkedIn anymore. So when turnover occurs, make sure that somebody is designated to clean up that list. Make sure that the head of marketing is always one of those admins. Now, depending on whether you offer products or services or both, the name of this section can change. And as I mentioned before, a LinkedIn company page functions like a mini website. It's another web presence. It's another opportunity for you to talk to your clients. If customers and prospects are visiting your firm's LinkedIn page, they should be seeing what you have to offer right here. At the top of the page, you see a banner. You can have 3 manually rotating banners here, and each one of those can be an active hyperlink to anywhere you want. You can send them to a page on your website. You could send them to a specific landing page. You could even drive traffic to other social media channels if you want. Be sure that you make use of these banners. They work. They engage. Show your culture and how you're helping your customers through them. You should also rank your most important products and services and place them towards the top. You may even want to have your banners complement those top products. Recommendations on company pages are important also. It's a great way to expand your customer testimonials. You can ask your customers to visit a product or service page and share their specific experience in a recommendation. A tip is to send requests to your best customers, those that you have great relationships with them, and ask them. And as you develop LinkedIn Savvy, you're going to begin to create targeted product and services pages for specific audiences. Essentially, what you'll do is you'll build customized landing pages for specific audiences, and that allows you to target your offerings. You need to work at building your community of followers. Otherwise, all of the work that you just put into your profiles will have been for nothing. But how do you get started building the community? Well, you can encourage your employees to follow the firm, follow the pages of industry peers, vendors, customers, prospects. Many of those folks will follow your page back in return. Send out an announcement to anyone who'd benefit from your updates and your product info. But you got to make sure that you let them know what's in it for them. Tell them what you're going to give them on this page. Send the announcement out to your CRM database. Post a request in relevant groups to follow your page, but make sure that you check on the group's spam guidelines. That's really important. You can create a group for your customers. Ask them to share experiences. But when you name that new group, don't just use your company name. Have it relate to your industry and, if possible, your customers' needs. Now, be sure to make your company page interesting. Use visuals, use video. Provide interesting, relevant, valuable data that will help your customers do what they do better. Post content that interests your followers, not just information about how great your company is. Listen to your audience. Notice what questions they're asking out there, what comments they're making, and create your content around that information. Engage followers by asking questions. Make sure you comment back to them. Monitor your company LinkedIn analytics in conjunction with your website's Google Analytics. That will give you a full picture of what's working and what's not, and then you can adjust your strategy as needed. Create marketing offers, free product demos, consultations, white papers, ebooks, special reports. People like to get free stuff, and you like qualified leads. Some final thoughts. Get your vanity LinkedIn profile URL for your personal profile. Put that in your email signature. It'll offer people a way to connect with you. No, it's really not worth paying to upgrade to LinkedIn Premium. They don't really offer anything of significance. Know that LinkedIn will change. All social media channels do change, and so will LinkedIn, so keep updating your profile. And above all, be patient. Social media success does not happen overnight. It won't change your business overnight. It can take 6+ months of steady work. So keep going, keep monitoring, and be patient.